Good afternoon. Okay, today we are going for the same information technology, and today we are going for positive aspects and negative aspects of this. Okay, information technology. So, what are these positive aspects and what are these negative aspects? Okay, positive aspects are nothing but the advantages that we come across, and the negative aspects are nothing but the disadvantages or demerits of this information technology. Okay, so when we come across this Information Technology Act, people they came to understand about the main aim of this. Okay, what is the purpose in order to assist the government people? Okay, and whomever it may be, they go for this. Okay, information technology. They can get the information, and the government people also they can get the information. They can do their activities and store the records, whatever it may be, in a e-record manner, in a data in this data, whatever it may be, the data they want to save. So in this case, and during this process, automatically you will come across some merits as well as demerits. So we are taking into account, we are studying now the merits as well as demerits. Okay, don't be of that opinion that we will come across only the merits. You'll come across the demerits also that we come across. So, what are the positive aspects of this Information Technology Act? At the same time, what are the negative aspects of this? Positive aspects or features of the Information Technology Act of 2000. Even though the Indian IT Act is being criticized greatly for its unspecific behavior towards cyber crimes, yet it possesses certain positive features. See, so many people, it is just by common nature that so many people, okay, they will abuse and they'll criticize, okay, whenever they come, because all the people they are habituated to one this thing, and when a new thing is come, okay, some people they'll show eagerness to take that new thing, and some people they'll criticize that this thing it is not giving like this, like this, like this. Okay, the criticisms are there regarding this Information Technology Act. Okay, we have taken into account what they'll say is, we have taken into account this Information Technology Act and we are using that. And does it mean that it will solve the cyber crimes whatever they are going on? Okay, in the initial stages it may not, but later on, by the passage of time, okay, by the passage of time, automatically it can able to solve the cyber crimes. Okay, and up to that extent how much it will take, who knows that? Who knows that? I'm asking a question to all of the people. One thing, what will happen tomorrow? You know? Can you predict? Can you tell me exactly what is going to happen tomorrow? No, no person can say. He cannot retrieve back the past. That is, yesterday he did not get back. Okay, and he cannot be in a position to tell tomorrow what is going to happen tomorrow. So, first of all, learn one thing. Okay, I believe in that and I follow that. Okay, today what is going to happen? Let it happen. Okay, whether it may be a good thing or a bad thing. Okay, I'm not telling that always we'll have good things in our life. We won't come across all the good things. Negatives, okay, some negative aspects or uncertainties also they may come in our life. So you have to think about those things. Okay, You cannot predict the future, and it is highly impossible for anyone to predict what is going to happen tomorrow. In that case, okay, what is the necessity for you to criticize this? Okay, they introduced. Let us see the time. Let us give them the time. Okay, all the people, they are having the same mentality. I don't know when the mentality will change. Okay, okay, yesterday you cannot retrieve back. Tomorrow you cannot predict. What is going on today? You have to see that thing. You may come across good things, you may hear good news, or you may hear bad news. But thing is, you have to think about today only. Let it be tomorrow. Let it be tomorrow. This is not the end of this world today. So like this, you have this Information Technology Act of 2000. Let it be, because it is in a budding stage. When it is in a budding stage, how can you expect? So it was, I mean, this people, the people, they will anticipate that there should be immediate purification. When you come across any disease, when you come across any disease, it won't be purified within hours and within minutes. If it is purified within hours and within minutes, okay, we will develop. We can say that we are developing a lot. The pandemic disease came, and people who affected, they have to go for quarantine for 14 days. Well, why we have to spend in quarantine? Is there there is no medicine at all? No, no, no. There is no medicine, and you have to sit in the quarantine. What you will do in the quarantine? I don't understand. Okay, so like this, you'll come across. Okay, excuse me. Yeah, Chepu. Good morning. Uh, Net assets అంటే total assets minus outside liabilities. అవుట్ సైడ్ లయబిలిటీస్ ఏ ఉన్నా సరే అవుట్ సైడ్ లయబిలిటీస్ని డిడక్ట్ చేసేయాలి. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ క్రెడిటార్స్, బిల్స్ పేబుల్, డిబెంచర్స్, బ్యాంక్ లోను, ఇవన్నీ అవుట్ సైడ్ లయబిలిటీస్ మనం ఇవ్వాల్సినవి. సో ఆ డిఫరెన్స్ చెప్పి జాగ్రత్తగా విను, మధ్యలో మాట్లాడకు నువ్వు. అవుట్ సైడ్ లయబిలిటీస్ అన్నీ మనం డిడక్ట్ చేసేయాలి టోటల్ అసెట్స్ని తీసుకుని. టోటల్ అసెట్స్ని తీసుకోవడం అంటే వాడు కండిషన్ పెడతాడు. అంటే క్యాష్ అండ్ బ్యాంక్ బ్యాలెన్సెస్ తీసుకోవద్దు అని చెప్పినప్పుడు మాత్రం తీసుకోకండి, మిగతావన్నీ తీసుకోవాలి. ఓకే, ఆల్ అసెట్స్ అంటారు, ఆర్ కంప్లీట్ బిజినెస్ అంటాడు. అప్పుడు మాత్రం మొత్తం అన్ని తీసుకోవాలి, ఇంక్లూడింగ్ క్యాష్ అండ్ బ్యాంక్ బ్యాలెన్సెస్. అవి టోటల్ చేసి అవుట్ సైడ్ లయబిలిటీస్ ఏ ఉన్నాయో వెరిఫై చేసి ఆ అవుట్ సైడ్ లయబిలిటీస్ తీసేసినట్టయితే వచ్చేదే మనకి నెట్ అసెట్స్. దాన్నే పర్చేస్ కన్సిడరేషన్ అని పిలుస్తాం. నెట్ పేమెంట్స్ మెథడ్ అంటే ఏంటంటే షేర్స్ రూపంలోని, డిబెంచర్స్ రూపంలోని, క్యాష్ రూపంలోని పర్చేసింగ్ కంపెనీ సెల్లింగ్ కంపెనీకి ఏమైనా పే చేసిందనుకో దాన్ని నెట్ పేమెంట్స్ అంటాం. ఓకే, అంటే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్తున్నాను. ఇప్పుడు సెల్లింగ్ కంపెనీలో ఒక షేర్కి 5 షేర్లు ఇస్తా ఉంటాడు. అప్పుడు సెల్లింగ్ కంపెనీలో ఎన్ని షేర్స్ ఉన్నాయో చూసి మొత్తం ఎన్ని షేర్స్ వస్తున్నాయో మనం చూసుకోవాలి. అలాగే షేర్కి 30 రూపీస్ చొప్పున నేను పేమెంట్ చేస్తున్నాను, క్యాష్ పేమెంట్ చేస్తున్నాను అంటాడు. సో దట్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో వన్ ఆఫ్ ది ఇంపార్టెంట్ థింగ్. నెక్స్ట్ డిబెంచర్స్. ఇప్పుడు సెల్లింగ్ కంపెనీలో 10% డిబెంచర్స్ ఉందనుకో, వాడు ఏం చేస్తాడంటే ఈ 10% డిబెంచర్స్ని తీసుకుని నేను 12% డిబెంచర్స్ ఇస్తున్నాను అని చెప్తాడు. దట్ విల్ ఆల్సో కమ్ అండర్ నెట్ పేమెంట్. సో whenever the purchasing company, when it says that I am going to give you this many shares, this much cash, this many debentures, like that, when he says, it is nothing but net payment method. So there is lot of difference between net assets method and net payment method. Can you able to understand me? ఇంకేం డౌట్స్ ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయా? ఒక్క నాకు షేర్ ఎక్స్చేంజ్ మెథడ్ నీకు అదే షేర్ ఎక్స్చేంజ్ మెథడ్ అంటే షేర్స్ ఓన్లీ షేర్స్, ఈక్విటీ షేర్స్, ప్రిఫరెన్స్ షేర్స్కే వాడు ఇంపార్టెన్స్ ఇస్తాడు, డిబెంచర్స్కి క్యాష్కి ఇంపార్టెన్స్ ఇవ్వడు. అది ఇప్పుడు ఇప్పుడు నీకు ఇందాక చెప్పాను చూసావమ్మా, ఇప్పుడు 5 రూపీస్, ఇప్పుడు ఒక షేర్ 10 రూపీస్ అమ్మా. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఒక షేర్ 10 రూపీస్ ఉందనుకో సెల్లింగ్ కంపెనీలో, అదే షేర్కి 100 రూపీస్ ఇస్తానంటాడు. అలాగే ఒక షేర్కి 2 షేర్లు ఇస్తానంటాడు. అంటే 2 షేర్స్. ఓకే, సపోజ్ కంపెనీలో 10,000 షేర్స్ ఉన్నాయనుకో, అప్పుడు పర్చేసింగ్ కంపెనీ వాడికి ఏమైనా ఎన్ని షేర్స్ ఇస్తున్నాడు? 20,000 షేర్స్ ఇస్తున్నాడు. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ షేర్ వాల్యూ సెల్లింగ్ కంపెనీలో 10 రూపాయలు ఉంది. అదే పర్చేజ్ అది 20 రూపీస్ కాదు, షేర్ వాల్యూ ఇక్కడ ఎంత ఉంది? ఫేస్ వాల్యూ 10 రూపీస్ ఉంది సెల్లింగ్ కంపెనీలో, అవును కదా? ఇప్పుడు ఒక షేర్ వాల్యూ 10 రూపాయలమ్మా, అదే షేర్ నీకు 100 రూపీస్ ఇస్తానంటున్నాడు పర్చేసింగ్ కంపెనీ. అప్పుడు నీకు షేర్ వాల్యూ పెరిగింది కదా, ఒకటి. అది నెంబర్ 1. నెంబర్ 2 ఏంటంటే ఒక షేర్కి 2 షేర్లు ఇస్తానంటాడు. అంటే ఇప్పుడు సపోజ్ సెల్లింగ్ కంపెనీలో 10,000 షేర్స్ ఉన్నాయి. 10,000 షేర్స్కి నీకు కొత్త కంపెనీ ఎన్ని షేర్స్ ఇస్తున్నట్టు? 20,000 షేర్స్ ఇస్తున్నట్టు. 20,000 షేర్స్ అట్ 100 రూపీస్ ఈచ్. నీకు ఎంత అవుతుంది? 2 lakhs అవుతుంది. 2 lakhs 20 lakhs అవుతుంది. 20 lakhs అది షేర్స్. అలాగే ప్రిఫరెన్స్ షేర్స్ ఉంటాయి. ప్రిఫరెన్స్ షేర్స్కి ఒక ప్రిఫరెన్స్ షేర్కి ఇంత అమౌంట్ ఉంటుంది, దానికి ఇంత అమౌంట్ ఇస్తానంటాడు. అలాగే ప్రిఫరెన్స్ డివిడెండ్లో కూడా డిఫరెన్స్ ఉంటుంది. సపోజ్ సెల్లింగ్ కంపెనీలో 10% డివిడెండ్ రేట్ ఉందనుకో, 10% ప్రిఫరెన్స్ షేర్స్ ఉన్నాయనుకో, నేనేమొచ్చి 15% ఇస్తానంటాడు. పర్చేసింగ్ కంపెనీ వాడిష్టం అది. 15% ఇస్తానంటే ఎవరు ఊరుకోరు చెప్పు? ప్రతివారు పరిగెడతారు, ప్రతివాడు ఒప్పుకుంటాడు. ఇప్పుడు నీకు డివిడెండ్ రేట్ పెరిగింది, అవునా? అది షేర్స్ ఎక్స్చేంజ్. దాంట్లో అయితే మామూలుగా అయితే వాడు ఏం చెప్పడు, సేమ్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ షేర్స్, సేమ్ అన్ని సేమ్ అంటుంటారు. పార్ వాల్యూ వేరు, మార్కెట్ వాల్యూ వేరు. పార్ వాల్యూ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ ద ఫేస్ వాల్యూ. మార్కెట్ వాల్యూ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ ద నెట్ రియలైజబుల్ వాల్యూ. ఆ షేర్స్ మార్కెట్లో పెడితే అంత వాల్యూ వస్తుంది, దాన్నే మార్కెట్ వాల్యూ ఆర్ నెట్ రియలైజబుల్ వాల్యూ అంటారు. అండర్స్టూడ్? ఇప్పుడు ముందు నెట్ అసెట్స్, నెట్ పేమెంట్ మీరు చదువుకోండి బాగాను. షేర్స్ ఎక్స్చేంజ్ మీకు అనవసరం లేదు. నాకు ఇక్కడ క్లాస్ డిస్టర్బ్ అవుతుంది. వీడియో క్లాసెస్ చెప్తున్నానమ్మా. నేను తర్వాత ఫోన్ ఒక హాఫ్ అన్ అవర్ 1 hour తర్వాత ఫోన్ చేస్తే నీ డౌట్స్ అన్ని క్లారిఫై చేస్తాను. ఈ లోపల చూసుకోండి. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. What are the positive aspects that we come across apart from the criticism? Because criticisms is always you will come across. Whether you are in a good manner, whether you prepare very well, even then you will come across criticisms. People, they'll make criticisms. Okay, forget about the criticisms, and now let us see what are the positive aspects that we come across. Okay, first one is ITA 2000 has outlined several cyber crimes. Before the implementation of the Indian cyber law, there was no redressal body for solving the issues, and Indians were unable to seek any legal remedy for such issues. But ITA 2000 has changed the complete scenario by solving out the cyber crimes taking place in the society. Yeah, before I mean this ITA introduction, do you mean to say that there won't be any cyber crimes? There are, there are cyber crimes. So, but people they cannot able to they don't know how to solve this, and to whom they have to seek, and they used to go for that. Whatever it may be, the laws that they come across, they used to go for that. Become because people they are habituated, they are habituated, and they are very careful in everything. But after the introduction of ITA 2000, okay, Information Technology Act of 2000, okay, some cyber crimes were solved. And if you take into account the law and order, okay, the police department, they have kept a separate section for this cyber crimes. And all the cyber crimes, okay, they are going to be solved within minutes and seconds. Now, why it was solved? Why they are solving? Because by the introduction of this ITA 2000, Information Technology Act of 2000. So this is one positive thing that we have to take into account. Okay, the next one is, before introduction of ITA 2000, email was allowed to be used as a legal form of communication and not served as a legal evidence in the court of law. ITA 2000 has changed the complete scenario by legally identifying and accepting the electronic format. ITA is in fact a latest form. Okay, before introduction of this, ITA, email. Now also, when you take into account so many people, they are asking about your email address. Can you please give me your email address? Why? Because they are habituated to that. Because they are habituated to that. So when they are habituated to that, automatically people they are going for that. And information technology, okay, legally, even though legal in a legal form, okay, but the court of law, it is not taking that as an evidence. But after the introduction of ITA 2000, the complete scenario, the complete scene was changed, and people they used to accept this. People they used to accept this, okay, and they used to take this as an evidence. And before that, people, even though they know how to use this email, but okay, the court of law, legally, it was not taking it as an evidence. But after the introduction of ITA 2000, people they came to understand about that, and they used to take that into account, and they developed that in a legal form. In a legal form, that is complete scenario, complete scene was changed. So that is the second positive thing that we come across. Now, third one is, the ITA 2000 has offered such a legal infrastructure that it helps in performing e-commerce in an easy manner by the corporates, which was otherwise not possible before the introduction of Indian cyber law, as there was no body to regulate all online commercial transactions. You see, before that, first of all, we have to see that the people they don't know what is this online transactions, and they don't know what is this e-commerce, electronic commerce. Whatever it may be, it must be done, okay, physically, face to face. Like that, people they used to think, and gradually, with the development of this information technology ITA 2000, people they can able to understand what are the online transactions, what is this e-commerce, and whether we can do our transactions by using this electronic media or electronic infrastructure. So all these things they came to understand, and now people they are habituated, They're habituated. In this context, I'm going to tell you one thing. You see, before the introduction of internet, people, they don't know. For everything, they have to go out, or they have to take into account the help of others. Okay. And one more thing is, okay, in this context, I am going to tell you. Before that, we are having this landline system, telephones, communications. Now, even a beggar is having a cell phone, that is smartphone, not a dabba phone. I'm talking. He is having a cell phone, I mean, smartphone. Even a beggar. See the improvement, see the development by this introduction of this IT aid. Okay, because it is permitting the people to use this electronic communications, electronic infrastructure. At the same time, it is acting as a yardstick or the controlling rod to regulate the various activities by electronic media or electronic infrastructure. With this, automatically, people, they are habituated. Of course, not all the people. I'm telling you one thing, not all the people. Some people, they are habituated. When they are habituated, automatically they are going, I mean, using that. Okay, one question I'm asking. Suppose if there is no internet, what is the position of you? Every person, they must have net system, internet connection. If anything happens, see, a small thing, a small example I'm telling. If anything happens to this internet, people that are just ragged, people that are getting ragged, angry, because their work, their work was stopped. Hooray, it is nothing but an electronic communication system. Okay, of course, man, how he is getting unhealthiness. In the same way, some problems they will come across. Okay, that too it is for a short while. But thing is, people who are habituated to this internet system, immediately they'll abuse them. Okay, the dirty internet, it won't come. Up to that extent, he will work on the internet. And just for half an hour or 1 hour gap, he used to abuse the internet and the persons who are related to internet connections. He will abuse them like anything because he was disturbed. He was disturbed. So can't he bear for 1 hour or half an hour this disturbance? Every time we have to use the internet. Everywhere it become a fashion. When there is a house, means whether it is a rented house or an own house, we must have net connection. Thereby we can use without going outside, without stepping outside, we can use anything, we can get anything. Like that, the people, they are habituated. And why this thing it was there? Because due to the introduction of this Information Technology Act of 2000 only, they are getting all these benefits. People, they are not keeping that. Suppose if there is no Information Technology Act, okay, then what is the position of these people? The so-called, I'm not abusing all the people, please. One thing, I am not abusing all the people. Those people who are habituated for those things, I'm asking and I'm telling. Okay, I'm sorry if I hurt you, but thing is, fact is fact. So this is, so with the introduction of this ITA 2000, okay, legal infrastructure that it helps in performing e-commerce, electronic commerce transactions. And so many companies, see the peculiarity, so many companies, they are following this e-commerce transactions nowadays. Because, okay, there won't be any stoppage, there won't be any stoppage, there won't be any delay. In a seconds and minutes and hours, their transactions are going on, and people, they won't get bored if we use human beings. All the work was done by the computers or the systems. Within no time, it is reaching the destination, and all the transactions are solved easily with this e-commerce. So when it is helping, you have to take that thing also. Okay, then fourth one is ITA 2000 has provided legal validity and sanction to digital signatures which are used by the corporates to carry out their transactions online. Yeah. With the introduction of this Information Technology Act, the digital signature system came into existence. Previously, I told you, in the last class, when you want to get something, you have to keep, you have to do formalities, so many formalities, you have to meet so many formalities by keeping your signatures in all the documents. But now, with the help of this digital signatures, the transactions are going in a fastest manner, and they are getting the results immediately. They are not going to take days together. They are getting the results immediately without any halt. Why it was happened? If you do think that it is due to the introduction of this Information Technology Act of 2000. Okay. Now, last one is nowadays corporate sector companies are usually saving their information on their own computers besides maintaining a separate backup. If in case any company's data is being hacked, copied, or destroyed, then in such a case, the company holds an opportunity to have a statutory remedy. According to the ITA 2000, the company may claim for the monetary damages in the form of compensation not more than $10 billion. 10 billion rupees, sorry, not dollars, 10 million rupees. Okay. Now, forget about the persons. When you take into account the corporate sector companies, okay, small companies, they are not using this information technology, of course, and big undertakings, they are using this Information Technology Act. They are going for this online transactions. They are using this e-commerce transactions. Okay, so whenever there is, okay, whenever there is the using, they have to store the data, and they can store the data with the introduction of this information technology, taking into account the electronic records. They are not maintaining about the paper. They are not using the paper. Everything they are just storing in an e-records, and they are saving them along with backups. Suppose if any information was hacked or destroyed or, okay, copied, then immediately they can get compensation, because one information should not be copied or hacked or destroyed by an under any circumstance by another person. So in that case, the corporate people, they can go for compensation, and the compensation is more than $10 million, 10 million rupees. The compensation. Okay, so like this, the Information Technology Act of 2000, it is giving some positive aspects. Positive aspects. Okay, so along with that positive aspects, we are also having some negative aspects. What are the negative aspects that we are having? The negative aspects are, first one is e-commerce basically relies on the domain names, but the Information Technology 2000 does not cover the issues of the domain names of e-commerce. Information Technology Act even fails to address the rights and liabilities of the domain name holders. Yeah, e-commerce is telling that e-commerce basically depends upon the domain names, certain names, and basing on that domain names only, they are doing their transactions. Okay, fine, it is good, but the Information Technology Act of 2000, it is not taking into account the domain names. Okay, it is not concentrating. But the ITA 2000 does not cover the issues of the domain names of e-commerce. Information technology even fails to address the rights and liabilities of the domain name holders. What are the rights that they are having? What are the liabilities that they are having? These things also they cannot able to take that. They cannot able to provide. So that is nothing but a negative aspect. You see, when you are doing this in e-commerce business, e-commerce transactions, okay, according to their whims and fancies, according to their interests, and they'll do that, the corporate sector people. But this Information Technology Act, when it is not taking into account that domain names of e-commerce, how can they accept this? And moreover, this Information Technology Act, it is unable to take into account the rights and liabilities of the domain name holders. What are the rights? What are the liabilities? All these things it won't take into account. So that is nothing but a shadow effect or negative effect. Second one, the ITA 2000 usually results in jurisdiction issues. Yeah, this jurisdiction, this area, it will take into account the area wise this thing, the area wise. So that is nothing but the drawback. It is not related to the common this thing or the overall this thing. It will take into account the places. In this context, I'm going to tell you one thing, one example. Suppose if the internet system, if it is not working in Anandabag or Malkasgiri area, okay, do you mean to say that the Chanminar area it is also not having that? No, it is not like that. The Chanminar area it is having this internet, but the people residing in Malkasgiri area they are not getting this. So this area, it is nothing but the jurisdiction of this ITA 2000. So like that, it will take into account the jurisdictions, and according to the jurisdictions, it will work. There is no universal and overall Information Technology Act. It is not concentrating on this. When it concentrates, there won't be any difference and there won't be any drawbacks. But as it is taking into account the jurisdictions, and according to that jurisdictions, when it is working, okay, it is nothing but a failure or drawback for this Information Technology Act of 2000. The third one is ITA 2000 has failed to solve the issues of e-commerce, such as monitoring and controlling the content and privacy issues. Okay, this is the third this thing that we come across. The information technology it is not helping this e-commerce transactions completely. When it completely helps the e-commerce transactions, okay, the controlling aspect you will come across. But here, when it is not concentrating on this e-commerce transactions completely and wholly, then automatically what is happening is, okay, monitoring and controlling the content and privacy issues. Controlling the privacy and content issues, they became difficult. They are facing drawbacks because every corporate sector, every undertaking, it will have some private issues, privacy, which they won't, they will have. Okay, so this thing it is not taking into account what is the content and what is the privacy issues. It is not taking into account. Everything is open, like that it is taking. So when it is taking everything is open, automatically every person they will come to know. It means that it became an open secret. Actually, secret means it should be with two people. But when you tell that openly, okay, it will become an open secret. So this Information Technology Act, it is taken into account the complete openness, openly less. It is not giving some importance for some this thing. Everything it is open. Okay, so that is nothing but a drawback for this ITA 2000. Next, Antitrust issues are completely ignored by ITA 2000. Antitrust. Okay, some people they won't trust because they're habituated to the old methods. And when you bring a new thing for those people, automatically you'll come across an antitrust. They won't believe that. So when they won't believe that, you cannot make them to go and you cannot explain them. You cannot make them to believe that. Alright, this Information Technology Act, it is useful to us, it is useful to us. Even though you bark, you shout before them, they won't accept. So antitrust issues are completely ignored by ITI Act. Let it be. Whether they understand or not, it is none of my business. I have to take into account this e-commerce transaction. Next, ITA 2000 ignores the issues pertaining to the intellectual property rights IPR. Okay, like trademarks, copyrights, or patents. Yeah. See, these trademarks, copyrights, they will come under intellectual property rights. Intellectual property rights. Okay. So this information technology, it is not giving any importance. It won't recognize. Simply, we can say that it won't recognize at all. Okay, about this intellectual property rights. So when it is not giving, we can say that this Information Technology Act 2000 is not completely covering everything. So like this, you'll come across. Okay. IT Act fails to include several types of internet crimes and cyber crimes as follows: prevailing abusement of the chat room, cyber theft, cyber defamation, cyber fraud, cyber stalking, harassment, cyber squatting, all these things, illegal credit card numbers, and so on. See, it is helping the people, but in some cases, it cannot able to concentrate much on these following these things. First one is prevailing abusement of the chat room. Prevailing abusement of the chat room. People they are going to chat. Some people they are going to chat, and that chat system, some people they are not allowing that. They are abusing that. So that thing it won't cover. Next, cyber theft. Cyber theft, cyber defamation. Okay, low down, cyber fraud, cyber stalking, cyber harassment, and illegal credit card numbers, and so on. These are the things that we come across. Okay, now ITA 2000 does not provide any proper framework for the implementation of Indian cyber laws. Besides this, India does not have good internet users, and the government and police officials are also not intelligent enough to deal with this internet issues. Okay, that is the thing that ITA 2000 does not provide any proper framework for the implementation of cyber laws, Indian cyber laws. There is no framework. With this, what can this ITA will do? It cannot. Now, besides this, India does not have good internet system. That users, that is compulsory. Even though you say that I'm using this internet system, we can say that there is no good internet users. And the government and police officials are also not intelligent enough to deal with internet issues. Those people they don't know their knowledge. When they know the knowledge about this internet system, then automatically people they can solve that and they can use that. But thing is, they don't have any knowledge. The government people or the police officials, when they are not having enough knowledge, then automatically it is very difficult for them. Okay, we can say that it is nothing but a drawback of ITA 2000. And the last one is the information technology does not cover negotiable instruments as it is not capable of controlling the electronic payment gateways. Yeah, the one drawback is negotiable instruments, check, demand draft, promissory note, and bills of exchange. These are all nothing but the negotiable instruments. So this Information Technology Act 2000, it is not having any relation because it is not considering that. Previously, I told you in the last class, according to Section 13 of the Negotiable Instruments Act of 1981, this information technology, it is incapable. It is incapable of doing this. The same thing, what is telling that the Information Technology Act does not cover negotiable instruments as it is not capable of controlling the electronic payment gateways. So these are the negative things that we come across, and after that we'll go for other topics. Thank you.